Welcome to From the Governor's Office segment, where we bring you recent official engagements of Mr. Governor. First, from the Governor's Office, the Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, swore in 5 new permanent secretaries to boost the human and administrative capacity and capabilities of the Executive Council of Lagos State. The appointees were products of the year 2020 merit-based screening exercise for permanent secretaries based on merit, excellence, fairness, and transparency. Mr. Governor, in his speech, did not only charge them to meet up with the expectations of Lagosians, but rededicate themselves to quality service delivery.
Your dedication, your hard work, and your commitments have demonstratively led to your elevation today onto this pivotal level of permanent secretary. Undoubtedly, this appointment comes with a substantial responsibility that highlights a lot of expectations. As we celebrate your elevation, let us also bring to mind the solemn charge laid upon your shoulders. The people of Lagos have placed their trust in this administration, and it is expected that we will deliver a greater Lagos agenda. We believe that opportunities are bound for all. We believe that progress are part of our norms, and we believe that we're in an environment where no citizen should feel marginalized in any form. And so the engine room for this noble vision is the robust civil service. And your dedication, knowledge, and strategic vision are the bedrock upon which these policies and the programs of this government certainly lies on. We believe that you are part of a team that will translate this into tangible benefits to our citizens. I therefore want to urge you to rededicate yourselves and to give your best at all times.
The maiden edition of the live media chat with journalist Christian Sanwo-Olu Speaks, with the byline Inspiring Hope and Building Resilience, afforded Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu the opportunity to give a vivid, precise, but detailed summary of his government's success story and challenges so far. For Mr. Governor, it has been a mixed bag of successes, triumphs, and surmountable challenges.
In the last 4 years and into 7-8 months into the new term. So what it means is that in my 8-year journey, today I would say I've spent about 60-61% of my time, if you take 100% view of it, because we count our days. So for the entire 4 years of 1,460 days, it was not all rosy. It's not easy to oversee and to run the largest city-state in our country, the biggest, black city in the world, the 5th largest economy, with all of its opportunities and challenges. We came into office 2019, like you know, and within 7 months, of that government, we were confronted with, a global health issue, which was the COVID-19 pandemic. That in itself has a full turn, not only on us, but entire world. So Lagos was the epicenter of our country. We were carrying over 50% of the burden, right? And we rolled on. We were able to sort of hold on and give hope to our people. And towards the end of that year, also, in defining my government, there was also a huge protest, which was the HENSAS, a protest in which the youth of the country also came up. It never started in Lagos, but had, all of the things about Lagos in it, where they were able to speak out and speak up, on all the things that were happening around, the police and police brutality at that time. That had, its effect, on my government. But beyond all of that, there were even some smaller issues, that also draw my government. There was a young man that died, in school that was, he went home, Sylvester. That was also, as a parent, challenged me, drew out a lot of things, as simple, as that event and that activity were. Lagos had all sort of, there were times when people would tell me, Sanwo-Olu, water is taking over, Lekki, and we're in river, and the rest of it. So we went through all of that we cannot, leave, our places. And the truth about the matter is, in each of those challenges, we were able to stand up, stand counted, and were able to come out of it stronger, better, learning the challenges with it, understanding what the problems were, but leaving Lagosians better off. And so in all of those problems, we were able to build more schools than we've done 10 years prior. We were able to open more hospitals than we've done several years before. We were able to start and complete rail projects. We were able to build, more facilities that now sees a robust integrated transportation, solutions. We're able to hand over, at that time, 14, 15 jetty terminals. We're able to also ensure that, we take a decent amount of our people out of poverty. We're able to recreate, how we should respect ourselves in public spaces. At one field sweep, we brought in over 64 new fire engine trucks. We're able to, escalate, what defines a mega city, like the size of Lagos. What makes a city of our size resilient, livable, and compare to mega cities of the world like that. I know throughout those 4 years and more, even into 7, 8 months now, we don't sleep. Ruben, we don't sleep. This morning alone, there's been a building collapse, and we have to respond. This morning, based on the rain, there were renovations that were going on, right? And of course, government officials, there was an ongoing renovation construction collapse. Yesterday, Ruben, a woman delivered at the bus stop in Lagos. Our emergency has to respond to it. We're able to save the child. Unfortunately, yesterday again, right, there was a boat mishap. 17 passengers, 15 were rescued. Almost immediately, we lost 2. The 2 probably I'm still investigating. Maybe their life jackets were not fully fastened on. Maybe their life jacket has been defaced, that they couldn't hold them. Something must have happened. Because one of the things that we said is that we will ensure that anybody that is on our waterways must obey the safety rules and must come out of it safe. We're not about excuses. We're about to solve problems. In 24 hours, I can tell you those are some of the things that I know that has happened in the city. Several, issues also, that will be coming up. That's how Lagos is. And we have to have the capacity to respond. One of the things that we've done is you need to do what we call build redundancy. You don't need to wait for an emergency to happen for you to be able to respond. You don't need 64 fire trucks of engine because all the 64 will not work at the same time. But position them so that in the days in which they are needed, they can come out. Ruben, I'll also tell you, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, there was a fire incident at the old Mandela's building. We have a fire engine that can climb up to 16 floors. We were able to bring the fire down, the ones on Broad Street. But guess what? Once they wanted to come to the back, because of the behaviors of our people again, they have blocked the road, they have built on the road that leads to the back of it. The engines couldn't get there. And that prolonged, the ability of our first responders to bring down the fire within, the needed time. So it lingered on for a lot of hours, and that led to, a lot of further damage on the city. That is how I want to, sum up how my journey has been.
And still from the governor's office, the Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has promised the state government support for the forthcoming Federation of African University Games, FASU, coming up in September this year, expected to be co-hosted by the University of Lagos and Lagos State University, LASU, The governor, who stated this during a courtesy visit by the vice-chancellors of both institutions, suggested to the co-hosts to involve the private sector and the federal government to create and ensure a robust sponsorship package to make the Games a success. Earlier, the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Lagos, Mrs. Folashade Ogunshola, explained the reason why Lagos was chosen as the host city and state.
They chose Lagos because Lagos is a center of excellence, and this time around, the second game, FASU game, will be hosted by us jointly, University of Lagos and Lagos State University. And it's going to be held on the 28th of September to 29th of September this year. And it's the first co-hosting ever for FASU or even NOGA. They've never had this kind of co-hosting, and this will be like a model. They chose us for excellence. They chose us for safety, because Lagos State is the most secured state in this country. They chose us for tourism because of the different things available, the tourist attractions, the sites available in Lagos. And also, they chose us for economic buoyancy. So we are encouraged to host these games because we know we have an able governor behind us.
Sports is one of the very strong essence of academic development. Sports is one of the verticals that truly, help develop both the cognitive and the physical development of citizens, and especially when you're still in a university environment. So what it tells me is that there's a need and a reason for us as a government to support it, but we will not leave it to the state government alone. There are other, would be identified critical, stakeholders, because you can use sport as a means to also very well engage, consumers, very well engage, the organized private sector. So I will encourage you, I can work with you to see how you can use it to signpost, opportunity for also the private sector. In each of your universities, I'm sure campuses, we are talking of a community that is getting close to 50,000, 70,000. So that's a huge number on its own. And when you now need to do such activity, you are talking of a catchment of between 100,000 or so. So that in itself becomes a marketing tool that private sector can see and it can leverage, as a means of advertisement, as a means of communication, right? So you shouldn't shy away from putting together a very, mutually beneficial marketing, strategy that the private sector will see, measure the benefit, and I can assure you they will play a critical role in that. And of course, the next big one is the federal government himself, the owners of University of Lagos. We cannot, allow them to run out, on this important, and it will be, a thing of joy that indeed you host the best of, FASU games that they've ever seen, given the fact that this is the first time they are combining two campus, two universities, so you should, in fact, raise the bar and show them that this is how it's done, and this should be the standard going forward.
And finally, from the governor's office, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu recently received in audience the Consul General of France, Mr. Laurent Favier, and his team in a courtesy visit to the governor at the Marina office in Lagos. In their various presentations, the issue of collaboration, partnership, and fostering economic and business relationship was paramount.
We are increasing our presence by 3% this year. In terms of population, we have more than 100 companies generating 1,000 jobs, as you know, and contributing to your economy, your direct economy, very concretely. In this respect, I have three missions: to increase and strengthen our economic ties, commercial ties. Second, to attract Nigerian investors in France, to invest in France. And thirdly, to encourage Nigerian mobility to France. This is my mission, and I would like it to implement it smoothly with your cooperation, of course. I have 2 or 3 points to add and to finish on that. First, to invite you to France for specific events. Probably the first one would be with you and your Commissioner for Innovation to come to a very famous event which is called Vivatech, which is an international summit for innovative sciences like the CES Las Vegas. Probably you know it. In May, and Ambition Africa later, which is organized by Business France as well. And whatever the event, whatever the occasion, you are very welcome in France.
For us, we see a deepening in that relationship. For us, we have identified a few growth areas that we continue to push on. One which I'm sure maybe you are obviously aware is in public transportation, our waterways infrastructure. Other areas are in the commercial angle, other areas of growth. We also still monitor and look at the markets in France, the huge commodity market, and how we've also developed models behind that. And we believe we can take forward some of this converse. We've seen specific things. One of them that also came around sports, as well in that meeting. We're looking to also advance that in terms of, recreational areas. And we believe we also have something to throw back in areas of maybe culture, tourism. There's a program that we're planning to do towards the end of the year, which is like Aeropolis, which is like a cultural, music, drama event, which I know that the organizers are Nigerians, but they've done very well in France, so they plan to have that event, here in Lagos, and I think there will be a lot of exchange of ideas, in that wise. So there are lots of things that we can take forward,
And that's the picture from the Governor's Office segment on the City of Lagos TV show.